Lights, camera, action, I'm splashing.
You're talking to the Rolex wearer, diamond ring wearer, kiss them, wheel and dip, limousine ride, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these Detroit Lions down. Pussy.
What up, Doe Everybody? It's Mr. Lights, Camera, Action. I'm splashing, bringing you another episode of Up in Smoke. I am your host. And on this podcast, we're self-driven like Waymo. And we're still making plays like J-Mo. Speaking of J-Mo, how you like them plays he made against Washington? That's it. You know, we had that orange piece of work with his toupee in the skybox, sitting in attendance, your president, as he was watching my hometown Detroit Lions pounce all over the Washington Commanders. J-Mo, you scored a touchdown there. Dan Campbell got you involved there early, as he's calling the plays now for the Lions. Move over, Johnny Mo. And there's plenty more where that came from. As I said, J-Mo, you were going to break out. You just got to stay patient and keep your head in the game. And how you like these threads? That's it. You know, forecast called for major spillage on IL-8. And I'm just trying to be great as I got my Lamar Jackson Ravens. If you know me, you know Jackson's my favorite quarterback in the game today. Well, next to Baker Mayfield. Couple young guys I like in the game as well. Jackson Dart, if you know me, you know I've been a Dart fan. Dating all the way back to Ole Miss. Really USC, you know. He played at USC just before transferring to Ole Miss. I don't know if you knew that. But you see, that's the good thing about this podcast here, is I drop dimes and tidbits each and every time. What you do with it is up to you. I'm just telling you. But before we can get into the show, I want to simply take this time to simply pay respect as we bow our heads for the late passings in the NFL. Paul Tagliabue, he was our old commissioner just right before Roger Goodell stepped in. Nick Mangold, the Jets All-Pro center, soon to make his bid for the Hall of Fame. Doug Martin, former running back in the NFL, played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, also known as the Muscle Hamster. And Dallas Cowboys defensive tackle, Marshawn Nealon. Think we can get into the show. You know, I say mental health is real. Check on your people. You know, I too feel like I get too caught up in my own life that, you know, I can't send a text. Well, I suck at texting, but I can't send a text or call somebody and say, hey, how you doing? You know, that shit goes a long way, but it also works both ways. But I'm just not also talking to you. I'm talking to myself as well. I need to do a better job of that. But you know what? This is just a quick message. Just to, you know what? Hit your neighbor up. Hit your friends up. Your family. Hey, how you doing? You know, I'm just checking on you, dropping a line. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am your host, Mr. Lights, Camera, Action. And you know I'm splashing. You know, I appreciate each and every one of you who tune in with me every week. And I appreciate your ear. Much respect. On this show, we're going to talk about what happened back in Week 10. I'll give you a little recap. It's kind of crazy to even say Week 10. You know, we're just halfway through the NFL season. Here we are, though. Still a lot of football left on the back end. I'm going to give you my Up in Smoke Players of the Week. who's in the hot box for good reason, followed by my Week 11 schedule. Now, my only question to you, you think you can handle all this smoke? Well, I'll see you in the clouds, pussy. Get into this Week 10 recap. Thursday, we had my Raiders taking on the Broncos. This one was a shit show right from the get-go, as both of these teams could only manage to score 17 points. That's terrible. But in the end, it was the Denver Broncos defense that shined as they take down their AFC West divisional rival, the Raiders, in a 10-7 victory. Broncos defense, you had 6 sacks. Broncos, you're also the only team to have 3 or more players record 5 or more sacks in a season. Nick Bonetto, Jonathan Cooper, and Zach Allen. As for my Raiders, you know, I'm sick and tired of this fucking Geno Smith experiment you got going on. You need to can it. You need to find a fucking offensive line and find me a number 1 receiver. Not Brock Bowers, a number 1 receiver. Somebody that can fucking go stretch it and take the top off of defense. You got Bowers and Jenny. That's our cornerstone for our offense. Let's get some other pieces here. Let's get a fucking quarterback. I had it with this Geno shit. All right? Each and every week, I'm sabotaging myself in disappointment watching you motherfuckers. Falcons at the Colts. NFL Berlin. And Jonathan Taylor took his talents overseas, where he scored 3 touchdowns in this one. The last one coming in OT. In walk-off fashion, that's your 5th hat trick this year. You know, you can't spell Jonathan Taylor without spelling MVP. I done told you that already. Taylor, you set a Colts franchise record in this one with 65 rushing touchdowns. You also tied Edgerrin James for most games with 200 yards or more from scrimmage with 6 of them. You're also the first back this season to eclipse 1,000 yards, and you did it in just 10 games. This was also Sauce Gardner's first game with the Colts, as he was just traded. Gardner, you're also the first player to ever play in both London and Germany in the same season. Now, I said, Gardner, you were just traded from the Jets to the Colts. You know, it's too early to tell who did what or who got the best of who in this trade, but I'm just going to tell you this. Gardner, you were dealt for 2 number 1 picks. I'm just going to tell you, not even at Darrelle Revis's height, Charles Woodson's prime, Champ Bailey, none of them top dog guys back in the 90s, 2000s were ever dealt for 2 number 1 picks. Now, you got a lot of backing up to do. Now, I get it. You were a former All-Pro, Rookie of the Year. You know, them first 2 seasons, you had the fucking NFL by the balls. All right? Now, I don't know what happened, you know, after them first 2 seasons, shit kind of went downhill from there. Now, you can say it was the coaches. Maybe they didn't have you in the right position to make plays, or it's, you know, maybe off the field shit, or whatever it is, Gardner. Just play ball, all right? Because at the end of the day, that's what got you there in the first place, is playing ball. Now, you're one of my favorite players in the league. I know you're going to bounce back. It must be nice to go to sleep 2-7 and waking up at 7-2. But you know what? God's got you, and he's got a plan for you. We're going to see what the Colts got. You know, they were all in, but you know what? It can backfire on them in the end. Browns at Jets. Believe it or not, there was history made in this one. 75-year history. As Jets, you become the first team since 1950 to have 175 yards and not commit a turnover. Your special teams also came to play in this one, scoring on both kick and punt returns, as you guys hold off the Browns 27-20. marking this your second win in a row since making them trades at the deadline. Jets, you have now traded 5 of your top 10 picks since 2017. Jamal Adams, Sam Darnold, Quinnen Williams, Zach Wilson, and Sauce Gardner. Jags at Texans. This is your AFC South divisional matchup. Bad news there for the Jaguars fans as your Swiss Army knife, Travis Hunter, went down on IR with season-ending knee surgery. Don't look good one bit for the former number 2 pick in this year's draft. You know what else didn't look good? Trevor Lawrence, as you were outdueled by Texans' Davis Mills, 292 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception, as Davis Mills was using his weapons. Nico Collins, 7 catches, $136. Houston's Woody Marks, Jaden Higgins, and Dalton Schultz both found the end zone there for the Texans as Davis Mills sticks his neck out and overcomes a 19-point fourth quarter deficit as they stun their AFC South divisional rivals, Jacksonville Jaguars, in a 36-29 victory. Bills at Dolphins. This is your AFC East divisional matchup, and Dolphins, you came to play in this one. I guess that was Vegas's call, because ain't nobody had the Bills losing on their parlays to a 2-7 Miami Dolphins team. But Dolphins, you snap a 7-game losing streak to the Bills with a 30-13 victory in this one. Devon Achane, over 225 yards total offense, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, you had a touchdown as well. Our last year's MVP, Josh Allen. You know, you throw for over 300 yards in this one and 2 touchdowns, but it was still not enough as the Dolphins drowned the Bills at home. You know, Buffalo, you should have really went out at the deadline and got Chris Olave. Pats at Bucs. This game here was about 2 dogs at the quarterback position. Drake Mayday. And well, and it's the Bake Show. Baker Mayfield, you had over 273 yards in this one, 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. E2, Emeka Egbuka, over 115 yards and a touchdown. You know, Baker Mayfield's also been developing new rookie receiver, Tez Johnson. You hit the end zone twice in this one. It was all about Travion Henderson, rookie running back for the New England Patriots, as it was your breakout game, over 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. You know, I think New England should really move forward with you as running back 1 there. Ravens at Vikings. Baltimore, you're looking to make a playoff push. J.J. McCarthy, looks like that magic done ran out. You couldn't play hero ball in this one, but every dog has his day. Justin Jefferson, you were held to just 37 yards receiving. That's your 3rd time this year you being held to just under 50 yards on the season. The main target for Minnesota in this one, Jalen Naylor. You had 124 yards receiving, a touchdown off 5 catches. As for the Ravens, Mark Andrews and Justice Hill had the only touchdowns for Baltimore. Well, their kicker, Tyler, was in the loop. Tyler Loop, you had 4 field goals. As Baltimore takes down Minnesota at their house, 27-19. Baltimore, you're on a 3-game win streak. Giants at Bears. Dart against Seawill. My boy Jackson Dart is the first quarterback in NFL history to have a rushing touchdown in 5 straight games, breaking Cam Newton's record in 2011. Dart, you had 2 touchdowns in this game. Currently, you have 7 on the season. In this one, well, your 2024 first-round overall pick got the best of the Giants as Caleb Williams records his fourth fourth quarter comeback victory of the season, and he's tied for the most in the NFL. Bears take down the Giants at home, 24-20. Bears are now 6-3 and have won 6 of their last 7 games. Lions at Commanders. This was all Detroit from the beginning in this one. It's Dan Campbell. You're now calling plays there for the Lions offense. This should be interesting, but yet fun to watch. Jared Goff. You dropped 320 yards in this one, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. You ain't nothing but a show-off. The gift that keeps on giving. You know, Jahmyr, you dropped a hat trick in this one, scoring 3 touchdowns, looking like the best running back around town. Well, next to Jonathan Taylor, that is. St. Beasy, you make it look easy as you do each and every week. Found yourself in the end zone as well, and you made sure to point out Trump, wherever the fuck he was at in that crowd, as you did his little shimmy dance. We're just going to let that slide because I don't know what the fuck that was about. J-Mo, there's plenty mo where that came from. As you had your breakout performance, you scored as well in this one. I told you that breakout was coming. The Lions ran up points in bunches as we take down the Commanders 44-22 in their house as Dan Campbell makes his debut as Lions OC and head coach. Get into these Up and Smoke players of the week. I got 3 of them for this week. My first Up and Smoke player, Jahmyr Gibbs. 142 yards on the ground, 30 yards in the air, as you drop a hat trick, 3 touchdowns, as you showed them why I dubbed you the nickname, the gift that keeps on giving. My next Up and Smoke player, Jonathan Taylor, MVP. 244 yards out of Taylor, as you had 3 touchdowns in this one, dropping your 5th hat trick this year. Your last touchdown, well, that came in walk-off fashion in Berlin. The Colts are sitting at 8-2, and Jonathan Taylor looks like the MVP. My last Up and Smoke player of the week, this is actually a first, because he's the first defensive player to ever win Up and Smoke player of the week, and that's DeMarcus Lawrence. Lawrence plays defensive end for the Seattle Seahawks. You had 2 touchdowns in this one, and you got the win. Most impressive about this, you did all this in the first half. Seattle, you're looking like one of the best teams in the NFL, as well as the NFC. Let's get into this Week 11 schedule here. Thursday, 8:15, we got the New York Jets at the New England Patriots. Patriots, you're sitting at minus 10.5 there in this AFC East divisional matchup. And let me just say this, Jets, you've been 2-0 there since you made them trades at the deadline. But in this one, I don't like the Jets to fly straight. I think they come crashing down. Mike Vrabel and them hard-nosed, well-coached Patriots led by Drake May. I think May's going to drop bombs all day because it's May Day. I got the New England Patriots winning there at home. Stephon Diggs, I know you're going to do some digging in this one. You scored a touchdown in 3 straight games. If the season ended tomorrow, I think I would pencil you in for Comeback Player of the Year. Sunday, you better wake up bright and early and get them parlays in because we got a good one here. This is NFL Madrid. NFL's first time they're having a regular season game in Spain. And we got the Commanders at the Dolphins. Dolphins are sitting at minus 2.5 there on the point spread in this one. And let me just say this, Commanders, you just got the shit kicked out of you by my hometown, Detroit. You had the president in attendance, had a little shimmy shake going on, and all bullshit. All right. And I know you guys are down bad. All right. No Jaden Daniels. You got Marcus Mariota. And on the flip side for Miami, Tua Tagovailoa. Tua fish is what I like to call him. You've been balling, all right? And it's something that needs to be taken notice of. But in this one, I think I am going to take Miami there to get the win in this one. In NFL's first regular season game in Spain. Bengals at Steelers. Pittsburgh. You're sitting at -5.5 there on the point spread in this one. In this AFC North divisional matchup, let me just tell you folks this. This is going to be the last time we're going to see A-Rod against Joe Flacco. The Unk Bowl is what I like to call this one. Two OGs in the game. All right? They've been balling for their respectable teams. Flacco, you had to come in for the relief of Joe Burrow. Shit hasn't really went Cincinnati's way this season. The matchup I'm looking at in this one with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins going up against Jalen Ramsey and Joey Porter Jr. and that Pittsburgh Steelers secondary. It's going to be a gritty one I can't wait to watch. But in this one, I am going to take Aaron Rodgers there and the Steelers at home. I think A-Rod is going to give the Steelers a reason to swing them terrible towels in this AFC North divisional matchup. Chargers at Jaguars. LA, you're sitting at -2.5 here on the point spread in this one. And let me just say this. Jacksonville, it's not looking good for you guys. Your former number 2 pick in this year's draft is down and out on injured reserve, who's going to be shut down for the rest of the season. Don't look good for you guys. But I'm going to just tell you this. Brian Thomas, you've been absent really this whole season thus far. I like you to get busy in this game, and I like you to hit the end zone as well. As for the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert, I don't see you guys losing this game, even if it is on the road. I like them to get the win there against the Jaguars. Bucs at Bills. Buffalo! You're sitting at -5.5 there on the point spread in this one. And let me just say this. Well, it's the Bank Show. Baker Mayfield. I get it. He's playing down and out with his number 1 target, Mike Evans. But Emeka Egbuka has emerged there. Really looks like the rookie of the year on offense. And who's Baker Mayfield's number 1 target now. I like them to get busy in this one. Bills, I don't know what the fuck you guys got going on. You just lost to the Dolphins last week. You stunk up the joint. I mean, what the fuck? Keon Coleman, you're fucking going through your shit this year. You're supposed to be the number 1 target for Josh Allen. You guys should have went after Chris Olave. But in this one, I like you guys to get the win there at home. Baker and the Bucs, they're going to be in this one, and they're going to put up a hard-nosed fight. But I like the Bills to get it done at home. Josh Allen, show us why you're the former MVP of the NFL. Bears at Vikings. Minnesota, you're sitting at -2.5 there on the point spread in this NFC North divisional matchup. And let me just tell you this. Caleb Williams, you guys are underdogs in this one for all the right reasons. You remember what happened last time. J.J. McCarthy came in there and stole the show. And we really ain't heard from him since, playing this porous fucking football he's been playing. You need to play better, J.J. With the weapons you got, fucking play is unexcusable. And I'm getting sick of this shit. And if I was a Vikings fan, good Lord. But I'm not. Okay? And I also like the Bears and Caleb Williams to get some revenge this go around. There, Caleb Williams. I gave you some play. What color's set for this game, pussy? I like the Bears to steal a win there on the road. Texans at Titans. Houston, you're sitting at -7.5 there on the point spread in this AFC South divisional matchup. Tennessee, I said it once before and I'm going to say it again. Ain't nobody going to remember you after the end of this season. I can guarantee. As for Houston, well, C.J. Stroud, and I'm going to say it loud, you got a feasible backup there in Davis Mills, who stuck his neck out for Houston last week, and I like him to do it here again this week. C.J. Stroud, you're not going to be playing for your second week in a row, but that's all right because I like Houston to get the win there on the road. Panthers at Falcons. Atlanta, you're sitting at -3.5 there on the point spread in this NFC South divisional matchup. Let me just say this. You know, Michael Penix, I ain't too much impressed with your play this season. All right, you're supposed to be this fucking miraculous gunslinger. I ain't seen a lick of shit from you. All right, and I'm not too impressed, to be honest. As for Bryce Young, you know what? The only thing keeping you guys afloat, Carolina, is Rico Dowdle and Ted McMillan. You know, that's your guys' offense there. You guys got a decent defense. You seem to stick, you know, with opponents each and every week. You just need a couple players to get you over that hump. Well, you shouldn't have traded your players. You had Christian McCaffrey and you had Brian Burns. But you know what? You live and learn. In this one, I am going to take Atlanta to get a win here at home. I mean, fuck, you should. Packers at Giants. Green Bay, you're sitting at -8.5 here on the point spread in this one. I'm just going to get to the chase. I know you guys are going to want to hammer Green Bay. But guess what? Jameis Winston is making his first career start there for the Giants. And if you know like I know, he keeps shit interesting. In this one, I do like Green Bay to get the win there on the road. But the Giants are going to keep it close. Don't say I ain't tell you so. 4:05, we got the Seahawks at Rams. LA, you're sitting at -2.5 there on this NFC West divisional matchup. And let me just tell you this. This is going to be a good match. All right, you got Sam Darnold playing out of his skull right now with fucking Seattle. And you got the gunslinger on the other side, Matt Stafford, proven veteran, also a champion. Got more stripes than a Letterman. In this one, I am going to go with the veteran, Matt Stafford and the Rams. I just like them to get it done. I like that offense, but I am going to watch that defense of Seattle, led by McDonald there, a Michigan man. I like what Seattle's doing this year. Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, league's leading #1 receiver there. I like you to get busy as well. I like the Rams there to get the win there at home. 4:05, we got the Niners at the Cardinals. Niners are sitting at -2.5 there in this NFC West divisional matchup. Niners, you got a quarterback controversy on your hands. You know, Brock Purdy went down there with injury. He came back. It's the return of the Mac. All right, Mac Jones, you've been playing good this year for the Niners. You're really one of the best backups in the league as you were once a starter. I like what they got going on there, but they got a tough decision. Are they going to start you or are they going to go with Purdy? Niners, you're just going to have to go with whoever's got the hot hand at quarterback for you, I guess. As for Arizona, how the cage bird screams. That's the best words to describe your season in a nutshell. In this one, I do like the Niners to get the win there on the road. Arizona, you might as well blow up that organization because you suck. 4:25, we got the Ravens at the Browns. Ravens, you're sitting at -8.5 here in this AFC North divisional matchup. And how you like these threads? Huh? That's it. Ravens, you got Lamar Jackson back, who's been out with a hamstring injury for a plethora of weeks. Well, he's back now. Ravens are looking to make a playoff push, and they're going to do it. All right, Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. As for Cleveland, Dylan Gabriel, you going to play or you ain't going to play? Are you going to have Shedeur Sanders to save the day? All right, which I hope he don't end up playing, because what's going to happen is Sanders will end up getting in for garbage time and perform poorly, and now all of a sudden he's the reason for the Cleveland Browns season. I don't want to fucking hear it. All right, but regardless, in this one, I like the Ravens to get the win there on the road, regardless if it is a divisional matchup or not. Chiefs at Broncos. Kansas City, you're sitting at -2.5 to run the point spread in this AFC West divisional matchup. Denver, you guys are chasing history. That defense is here to play, led by Nick Bonetto, Jonathan Cooper, and Zach Allen. They're here to put pressure on Nick Nack Paddywhack. I'm here to tell you that. But in this one, you know how Kansas City likes to pay the referees. You know, God forbid they ever fucking lose. They whine and cry like a bunch of pussies. Denver, I hope you can do it there at home. I'd be awfully surprised if you did, actually. I'm taking KC there on the road. 8:20, you better get your popcorn and make sure that shit's extra buttery because we got the Detroit Lions, my hometown, against the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles, you're sitting at -1.5 to run the point spread in this one. People, we could very well easily be looking at the NFC Championship game right here. And I know this is one everybody's been waiting to see. I know I am. It's going to be an exciting one to say the least. Lions, you know, we're banged and beat up once again, playing with a plethora of injuries, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Our secondary's all banged up. No Kirby Joseph in this one. DJ Reed, amongst other people. How you think that's going to look for Jalen Hurts in that passing attack for Philly? You know they're going to get off. A.J. Brown, you've been quiet these past couple weeks. You know, going back and forth with the Philly Eagles. Oh, I need the ball. I want the ball. How can you not get him the ball? I mean, what the fuck, man? All right, just last year you were almighty, high-powered Philly. Now you make me want to take a second guess at you. All right? I'm just going to say this, though. In this one, I like Philadelphia to get the win there. I got to put my pride aside. Detroit, we're just all banged and beat up. But I will say this. We ain't going down without a fight. Monday night, 8:15, we got Dallas at the Raiders. Cowboys are sitting at -3.5 to run the point spread in this one. Let me just say this and make this the last time. Raiders, I had it up to my skull with this fucking Geno. Each and every week I'm shooting myself in the foot watching you fucking assholes. All right, and I just had it. Every week it's self-sabotage, and I'm done. All right, I need a fucking #1 receiver minus Brock Bowers. I need a couple more pieces on that offensive line. Defense, you couldn't stop a nosebleed. I'm just fed up. All right, I had it. As for the Cowboys, well, what's up, Dak? Because I know you're going to get busy with that passing attack led by CeeDee Lamb and NFL young boy George Pickens. I like Lamb to get a touchdown, maybe Pickens too. Dallas gets the win there in prime time. Raiders. Well, as I put the blunt out, I think that's enough smoke for today. Detroit, we got a big game this week on the road against Philly. My Raiders at home against Dallas. Hopefully both of my teams can get the win there, as well as my Wolverines on the road against Northwestern. You know what that is? You know what this is. Up in smoke, pussy.